Sorry, Trav, I'm a little late today. I was like, I started the stream up, and I was like, why is there no one here today? I was like, wait, there's no one. Like, no, that chat wasn't even existing. I'm like, wait, the whole time my stream was on private. So I was like, damn, bro. So I had to restart the stream. I was like, damn, I know our chat sometimes dead in the morning, but it's not that dead. It's not that dry. But yeah, anyway, sorry chat, I'm a little late, but let's go get started today. It's a pretty big day. Let me just start this Zoom call or live Discord. And then cool. So we are, and then Zoom is all set. All right, cool. Should be good now. Okay, yeah, let's do the let's run through the analysis and see what's up today, chat, and then we'll see what we can do. But it is Nfp Friday, so yeah, red folders. Holy shit, red folders. I think they're expecting to come out. Let's see. So NFP numbers are expected to come out 85K. So actual greater than forecast is good for currency. So 85K is greater than 5.7. I mean, they're expecting good numbers, but we'll see how it comes out, right? It doesn't matter really, like in terms of like making a prediction now, anyways, because when numbers come out, you'll see how it actually reflects in the charts, and that's what we're actually gonna use to see what we can do today. All right, chat. So yeah. Where is... All right. So yeah. Like dysfunctional today for the morning. All right. So let's go to the charts there. All right. All right, yeah, Discord, are we good here? Just to make sure before I start. We're good? Okay, cool, let's go. All right, so yeah, clearly you're actually at the top of the range on chat. So looking at the starting off with like the monthly, I mean, we might as well start the monthly. We're 7 days into the month, so we're pretty much a week into it. Last month's kind of closed week bullish, right? So we haven't understand that. I mean, it's the first like week bullish kind of closure you've had, or bullish candle in general you've had since maybe like March. So like you've been bearish since like February, March, right? Coming straight down. And this is the first bullish candle. It's a very weak one. It's not like too major, and it does play a huge role, but I would say like it's not. This I think over the next couple months will matter more, right? But this could start off something. It's just that it's a very weak candle, so it doesn't really tell me much yet. I know we're coming up right now, like you already came up to fill that wick, but at any given point still, this could still flip bearish, right? At the end of the day, like this is a very weak bullish candle. It wasn't like your next support zone. Like if I'm looking at the monthly here, and I'm looking at what the monthly is kind of like showing here, you have the like your next support like more so down here, right? And then this is like your previous zones, right? So like you're kind of just in the middle of like these areas here, which is fine, right? Because like looking left, like there's really nothing too major here. There might be like some minor zones here, but really like it's either like you break into this range here, and I think that's when like we'll have a much more established like bullish trend. But until then, like anything below these areas could still at any given point make its way down. That doesn't mean like I'm looking for buys above here, right? Like we can still look for buys on the way up towards like 4600s, 4700s, right? On the way up towards here, but it's just like you got to understand like on a higher time frame like where you're kind of sitting with price here, and you got to be open to the options, right? So like understand that we are in this range here. Any given point, this could still make its way down, right? So I wouldn't say it's completely bullish just yet, but I will say like following the bullish trend, like this could be higher lows, right? Like any given point, this can just be a higher low to make its way back up. So it's a possibility. But at the same time, we don't have enough confirmations to like really confirm that, or at least there could be better confirmations later on, right? As you close above like those red zones. But yeah, that's like where you're at in terms of like the monthly time frame. Just a monthly, it won't really affect anything too much today, but again, understand that. Weekly zones, like you got, I'll say weekly zones for the most part, like you're kind of just between these areas here and then like these areas here. So I think for the weekly, I'll go straight down to the daily, just because like the daily would show much cleaner like information there. But yeah, you got this support zone right around here. So I'm gonna use, so let me just break that down. So we're using this right here that we've been using. So this is like your previous support zone. And then this is like your overall resistance, right? So you can see like you're literally at the top of the range right now. But remember that range down here, 4,000 to like 3,800, same analysis we've had for like almost a month now, right? That still has not been tapped. We are in this range though, right? And like this did break these highs here, and it closed above these areas. But again, like I don't think you had anything too crazy yesterday of pullbacks. Maybe you came down towards like 4,200. Could that be a higher low, right? Like if you look at this move here, like there was only one pullback and it happened yesterday's NY session, right? You pull back and now you're doing something like this. So is that enough to take us up? Like in the past when you did come up, I'll say more so here, like, so like if you look at current price, compare that, like looking left, like there were bottom wicks here, right? And you can see like this kind of falls short by a bit, right? You can't like say that it's not structure though, like it's decent, it's okay, right? But there could be something more significant. So just be open to that idea. Because like, again, like looking at this and then looking at these moves up, again, this is also bullish too, right? This is coming down bearish. So it's like two different trends that we're using to mirror here on price. But when you're coming down now, any given point, like these here could literally just be like lower highs at the same given time. All right, these can all just be lower highs and make its way down to the bottom of the range, especially when you still have that range that's missing down here, like the range from like 3,900 down to like 3,800, right? Looking left, like I'll say that's the bottom of the range. And before you go into like a drive cycle or like a liquidity cycle, because right now you're in a range cycle, you're between these areas, right? This is your range. So if you go into a range or a drive cycle or liquidity, it doesn't matter, you're gonna need a range first. And you could say like you did a range here, but overall, like I'll say this is your overall range right around here. And if the overall range didn't fill it, technically, like any given point, if this makes sense, like this could be liquidity to start ranging, if that makes sense, before actually breaking out, because the yellow zones is what you're looking at, right? But it's hard to break out the yellow zones and get direction if something is still missing. So this right here could be a problem still, right? Obviously, after the pushes you had this week, it's like it becomes less of a problem, right? But it's still something you gotta be open for. And that's why I think this plays a huge role too, like kind of looking left to see like where you kind of reacted in the past last time. Over here to the left when you reacted here before making your way up, like just looking for the similar pullback areas, which you haven't had here, right? So like we're gonna focus on these yellow zones still. So I'm gonna put literally same zones we've had really. So this is gonna be there. This is gonna be, I'll say down there. More so here. So delete this. We can go ahead and draw up the overall areas like this. So we'll put like 43, 49, and then we'll also put what's this, like 48, 76. Yeah, something like that. So then we'll do that, and then what we'll do after this is now we'll mark up. We could leave this here, like same zones we've been using, like at 42.15, like 765, or we can also just use like down here at into 41.15. I think that's what I used yesterday. Yeah, I think I'll leave it down here. I'll leave it down here just because like if you were to break back into these ranges here, then that's gonna be like your fake out into the ranges, right? So that's gonna be back below like 4120. So anything in this area still could be bullish, even if you were to pull back all the way through into these zones here, right? Like our job, I would say, is to like figure out where the pullback is till today, because price will tell us anyways, right? Like it's not like we're looking for, I don't think we're looking for any wick entries here. I think if we look for wick entries, it's gonna be more so like up here into like 4480 zones, 4440 zones, like if you were to make your way up above there. But I think from here, since like you kind of had a small pullback yesterday already, I wouldn't look for wick entries here. I think yesterday though, a different story. If you did just make your way up constantly up towards like 43, 49, sure, right? But look how close you came yesterday, right? So you came up, like this is the push, and then you had to pull back and then doing this. So as you re-break the highs, there's still a chance that you can push through here, right? But I'm also don't have any confirmations to confirm that this is gonna push past 43, 49. So taking buys for me is still a little tough because I do want to see if you can break above these areas and hold, right? Above like 43, 49, and then you want to see holds because you want to confirm that this is actually going to stay bullish up above these areas. So until then, this could still be a fake out as well, right? So that's why like wick entry buys ourselves are possible, but it's going to be more so a little higher than like here. I wouldn't take them here just because of, again, the structure here, right? And then again, our job isn't to figure out where that rejection is. We're looking for just higher lows to be occurred, right? Even if we do get the wick entry sell, it's not like we're looking for this. Like we can care less about like predicting where it's gonna go, right? But like in terms of like a higher low, in order to go up or to lead to a fake out, it's a very possible thing, because especially if you come up without structure, you're still looking for some type of overall liquidity that has not been formed, right? So drop it down to the 4, you can see like, would you say this is liquidity? There is a possibility it could be steeper than that, right? I'll say more so like this. Like if you get something like this and then you start shifting back into the ranges, okay, 43, 49 above there, I'll start looking for buys because now you actually have structure. Or number 2, you start actually making your way up above like 43, 49 and then pull back and holding, right? But you want to see those pullbacks and holds and obviously a push, right? So Nfp, again, it's a lot to ask for, but that's kind of where you're at. Like you're reaching a zone where it could be, it's like it's a reaction zone. It's a zone where price makes decisions at, right? So you want to let price make those decisions. You don't want to make those decisions for price. Let price make those decisions, and then your idea should flow, right? But yeah, shorts like below 4120 possible, right? It's again, you need this to drop though in order for that to happen. So it's pretty far. Could it happen today? Maybe, we'll see, right? But back into like 4120, that's when I'll start looking for shorts on price. And then buys, again, I just explained the buys more so above 43, 49 if you create structure, or whether if you come back into like 4160s, 4120s, and then you make your way back up above 43, 49, right? And then wick entry sells, I think that is our closest idea, because wick entry sells, all that's going to require is just a push up. So like I'll probably sit around those 3 ideas there, chat. Let me just move one thing though. 4120, I'm trying to see. Am I gonna use 4120? I think I'll leave it here. I'll leave it here at 4114. So yeah, that's pretty much it, chat. 3 minutes for NFP here. We'll see how that comes out. I don't know, like with the information right now that we have, I don't know what we'll get today, aside from those ideas I just drew out. But when news comes out, I mean, it should bring more volume, so hopefully more information gets printed, right? Really, like I think the next set of information we can really get is like once we start breaking outside this yellow box. So like I think that'll be my blue box for the session. So let's go ahead and put 43.49. So let's put that. For 114.8. Why do I keep clicking that? 38.76.481. So 3 zones, right? Yeah, pretty much it. And then the blue zone is what I want to add. So yeah, we'll put that like somewhere, maybe somewhere like, I'll say this, like you want to see this breakout. How much is this range here? This is like a 1600 pip range. So like you do want to see that breakout. But I'll say like in terms of price chat, like I wouldn't even like stress about this week, to be honest. It's like, again, it's the very first week where you're actually breaking out. Like you're far from getting like, I wouldn't say far, but still like there's still a lot of room until you actually get a directional trend. This is still in the range, right? So obviously Nfp has a big impact today, so I'll be excited to see how that comes out and how much of an impact that has, like, or how much that could push price today. But again, like I wouldn't even stress about these opportunities right now on gold for the week, especially if you didn't get much. But yeah, let's see. Nfp just came out. So where to open up, like around here. Oh wow, that was a quick bottom wick. How did it print a bottom wick so fast? This was like 140. Opened up like 460 off the bat. Like I don't have any wick entry sells here, right? It's gonna be a little above chat. I think what I had earlier was, let's see, what am I gonna use here if we get wick entry sells? Probably won't be until like, I'll say, like 41, I'll put like 4,500 until we get wick entry sells. It's like that's still pretty far too. That's like gonna require a 400 pip pop up. I can't get buys here because you're bumping into this resistance, right? So I gotta see it. Like if there was structure last night, like I was hoping that in New York yesterday, when it was like pulling back yesterday for yesterday's session, right? I was like, oh shit, if you could like pull back for like Asian London, come down towards like 4114, 4120, okay, cool. New York, if it were to be back up, oh amazing, we'll be back above like 38.49. I think I did mention that on stream too. If that were to happen, above like 30, 39, 49, where we are right now would be like very bad for me. But I can't really figure out whether this is like enough structure. That was like the very first time you pull back, which is fine, right? Like I wouldn't hold out on buys completely at all until 4,500. But if it's not structure, if it wasn't structured yesterday, like in these areas, we'll wait for structure above here, right? So it's just a matter of breaking like 43, 49 and pulling back and holding that zone. And that's pretty straightforward. That is pretty straightforward. Wait, so how did numbers come out? The expected numbers come out positive earlier, right? And it came out negative. Wow, that's a lot. It went from 85 to negative 23. So negative 23,000. Yeah, so numbers come out bad. Gold came up. Oh, at least that's how it reflected so far, right? That's good. I think. Wait, no, that's not it. Alright, I'll be back in like 20 seconds. Sorry, chat. Holy. So yeah, what was that? Like total like 390, 380 pips. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Grant? You said gold NFP killer? NFP or NFP is a gold killer? NFP could be like a gold killer or like a gold account flipper. Or it could just be a regular day, really. It's just a regular day, chat. It's like, you know, NFP is like NFP, but at the end of the day, like you're still gonna have to wait for the same, you know, plays in your playbook at the end of the day, regardless if it's like a Monday or a Friday, you know, unless it's a weekend and you're off. But every day is really like the same approach. But this is not bad NFP. It's not bad. 450. I think, what was FOMC like last week? It was like, was it over 1,000 pips last week or below? Was it last week? FOMC. Oh yeah, that's what started the volume, right? To like 420. It's about the same so far. It looks like gold has more potential though, or NFP. You said 6 month leg candle body tap. What's the zone for that? Like 60s? How's that possible? 6 months? Unless it starts from like January. Oh yeah, it does, right? Because it goes in quarters, or it goes in halves. Pretty sure for a day, chat. See if it picks up. Hopefully, this doesn't just sit here and range for the whole session now. NFP moves fast. Yeah, NFP is like, it's up there. NFP and like FOMC, that's like your two, like, that's like the two most volatile folders. And CPI is up there too. I'll put like S tier, if I were to rank them in tiers, I'll put like S tier. S tier would be like FOMC, interest rates. And then S tier, honestly, NFP used to be more S tier, and then lately, like over the last like couple years, I'd say it's gone down to like an A tier, and then CPI is like A tier too. So I think the only S tier I'll put is like maybe like FOMC. I should do a tier list for that. Because what else is there? Like FOMC, NFP, CPI, like those are like your main red folders that actually move, right? Like you have unemployment claims, but that's like a hit or miss usually. And then you got, I mean, PPI, stuff like that. That's like C tier. Type. So you get 80 pip spreads in FTMO. They don't want you trading news, man. This is a leg candle, right? I think so, right, chat? This is a leg candle on the weekly, or was it the monthly? Where did I just see this? The weekly on TradingView. I think there's a gap here. That's why on MT5 at least. It's on TradingView you don't see it because there's not a gap there on TradingView. Because this body goes from like here to here, right? But what's that's true. Yeah, I agree. How far are we here? So outside the blue range is 21. So yeah, it looks like you're so far like holding these 43, 49 here, which is good. It's off the minute, right? But still 5 leg candle 2 here going down, but holding so far, decent. What's that zone I have above again? 45.02. Yo, Don, in situations like this, do you rate we should be waiting for a deep retest and strong for bottom wick for buys, or just ride momentum? Like for me at least, I don't really know much to do here. Just because price is at a resistance, right? I call it like decision zone. So like at these price points, it's not like you can't trade it. It's just like you have to wait for information. So whether that's like you said, like you name the possible outcomes. It could be a deep retest. That's a possible outcome. Like if it pulls back, right? But I wouldn't just limit that to one idea. Like I wouldn't limit it to just like only look for a pullback here, because it's still going to be tradable without having to wait for that much of a pullback, right? If it just continues up. But I will say, like, if it does continue up, I will still apply structure. So that's why, like, right now I have like this blue zone kind of here. I do want to see if you can break outside of it. And then if you can just hold like 43, 49, that yellow zone that I have marked up right now across the screen, if you could stay above that blue zone and hold into that yellow zone, like more so like this, and then you start to re-break, like, because this is clean traffic now at this point, right? So how can I confirm that this is going to stay up above that range? So for me, that's like, okay, wait for this breakout and then small time frame structure above, right? So yeah, like, it doesn't need to be only a steep retest though. Like, I would say those are my two situations where I can look for positions for buys. But yeah, it's either just if you pull back for one, it's gonna require a bit, right? Like a pullback, let's say down towards the bottom of the blue zone is like maybe 1600 pips, and then you gotta come back up 1600 pips. So it's like it's a lot. It's a lot to ask for. I don't know if that'll happen today, but in terms of today, if it just continues up, small time frame structure is what you want to see, and then it's just a matter of these zones here really holding. That's why I was like, if yesterday's Asian and London pulled back, like instead of just from here, it pulled all the way down towards like 4112, 4114, and then today you're back above here, that we wouldn't have to wait for a pullback right now. I'd just be getting in positions, to be honest, for buys, right? Because then that would have been more structured. It would have looked different. But this is not the worst though. It's tradable, but you gotta understand where you're also at on price too, right? Any given point, especially in this blue box here, top of the range, it could be reaction zones, which is not bad too, because if you do react, you do pull back, you come back up to re-break the highs, that structure, right, adds onto it, and that's all I'm waiting for really in order to take my buys today. But right, looking at price, there hasn't been much since the initial pop in Nfp yet. It's just kind of been like a slow range up, so you need that to continue as well. Could still be a fake out too. If it is a fake out, sells are valid, but I know earlier I said 41.14 for sells, right? If you were to some universe, some given time in the future or whatever, make your way back below 41.14. But if you make your way above the blue zone and then start breaking back into it, I'll say like could even be like below. It's still going to be quite a bit that you have to wait for because you need to wait for structure, but below here could be valid, below like 42.50 instead of like 41.14, right? But again, that's going to require a push up still and all of that. That's far. All right, but so far every candle's been holding the previous lows on the 5 and on the minute, so you could get continuations there. How far are we from breaking highs there? This is 130, so simple. I see if we hold above the resistance for a decent retest. I was looking for a deeper test in the range. Yeah, like if you're looking for a deeper retest, it's fine, but if you're looking for above the blue range, like I'll say for me, like I don't know what we'll get because I gotta see how it prints out, but I'm pretty sure it'll be more of like a second re-break type of situation where like you wait for the retest, right, and you re-break the highs and you need another pullback to hold structure. So instead of getting like right the moment you re-break the highs after a pullback, probably wait for that to break, push, pull back again, and then it's like structure now. It's like higher lows, and you have double higher lows here basically above that zone. So it's just more structure. The more structure you have, the better, and the more confirmed that this is to continue up. If this wasn't a resistance, no problem, right? But like this resistance we've been marking up like 43 for weeks now too, so it's like a higher time frame resistance as well. It's not just like a small time frame. Those small time frame, we'll work our way around it. Like we'll be more like lenient when it comes to like the higher lows and all of that. But yeah, on MetaTrader here, it shows like a leg candle fill. Yeah, 497 pips. Let's go, man. Leg candle fill. Oh yeah, this leg candle. Yeah, this was a leg candle. Yeah. And this is a leg count too on a daily. I wasn't like, I checked Asian last night, like I checked around like every now and then, but every time I checked it was kind of just slowly in the range, like slowly making its way up too, but it wasn't anything crazy. Yeah, it was kind of just whatever Asian last night, and it wasn't until like London, late London, and obviously Nfp where we picked up. But you got 250,000 traders. Chat, did this hit 300,000 traders earlier? Damn. Like at the end of the day, this is still bullish, right? It's just trying to like, it's still bullish. Looking at the overall, like, I mean, from $0, gold is always bullish, really. But like looking at the overall trend, right? This is still overall bullish. This is like the first pull. This is the steepest pullback you've had of all time ever, like all-time gold pricing. But you don't need to get in at the very bottom of the range. Like there's so much range to retest the highs, and then obviously once you actually make all-time highs again, if you make all-time highs again this year, you have all of that above there anyways, right? But even like above here, if it's not anywhere in this zone here, above here going up still, right? Still a lot of range. No sells. You gotta be catching a falling knife right now to be taking sells, just because it's pushing up heavily, and it's like slightly breaking above 43, 49. So like I wouldn't be able to tell whether like this is gonna reject or not. Like you can say it's a resistance, and you can make an assumption off of that, right? But like if you're like slightly breaking above it, it could lead to like clean traffic. So you're kind of in the middle of like clean traffic, right? So that's why like I have mine more so higher. So once you actually do get a push up past all of this clean traffic into the next like struggling areas, that's my wick entry sells. But I wouldn't take them here, hell no. I'll let price make the decision here. Up here, I'm expecting more so of a slowdown, just because like look where you're jumping into, right? So that's 4,500. You are not trading, waste my time. So, bro, I'm wasting your time. You're on someone's free stream. You could click off. You can click off and go trade on your own, bruh. Like, that's like some next level, like, what do you call that? I don't even know how you call that. Like, that's not even greed. That's more of like, shit, what's that shit called? I'm looking for a word right now, chat. I need help. What's that word called? Fuck. I don't even know what the word is, bro. I'm looking for a word. Fuck. But damn, bro. You can just there's a million streamers right now. You gotta understand too, bro. Like I'm not gonna go on stream to like just take trades just to take a signal or just whatever. Like at the end of the day, this is my job. I gotta do that. I gotta take this shit seriously. Like I gotta plan out my ideas, and then I gotta wait for my setups, and then if they appear, I take them, and I give you guys all that part. I give you guys a part where I show up, and then the part where I mark up, and then the part where I literally break down what I'm looking for. So like, what more can you ask for? Like, you want me just to take a position just because? You know what I mean? Like everyone has an MT5 account. You got a free one. I got a free one. You got loaded balance in there. You can just take a position, but you're waiting for a signal, which is fine. Nothing wrong with waiting for signals, but if you're gonna wait for a signal, it's like waiting for a signal, not like, you know, demanding a signal. Like if you wait for a signal, you're gonna wait until that person makes the right call, right? Off of their decisions. You can't force your decisions into someone else's decisions just so you can get a fucking trade. It just doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? So that's crazy. No, I know I ain't doing nothing wrong, but bro, I'm trying to help him. You know? Sometimes people just need to look at it to a different perspective. That's all that really is. Nothing like personal or anything, but sometimes just like a perspective shift, you know? Like, look yourself in the mirror, bro. Just be like, damn, why am I? Like, think about it. Nothing wrong waiting for a signal, right? Like, at one point I was waiting for signals too. But you gotta understand, if you wait for a signal, you gotta let that person cook. You can't. Like, you might as well call the signal then. And if you can call a signal on your account, then take the signal. Take the signal on your account. Bro, just looking at a chart. You never do a trade here. We took one on Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, right? The 5th? What was the 5th? First Friday, 7th, 6th. Yeah, Wednesday. I think on Wednesday. I think the stream's still up. It's a long day though, chat. It's still only 8:56, so still got lots of time. How much is this push total so far? I mean, 470. Like, Nfp was maybe like only that one candle, right? That's like 500 pips. Yeah, 500 pips. How did I get 470? 500 pips, and then the extra after that was only like maybe 100. So it's been like struggling. This is the first like pullback, I'll say. Let's see if this is gonna re-break the lows. I wonder if we can get a wick entry buy actually. I forgot that was a thing today too. Wick entry buys are also doable, but you need to pull back. And if you do pull back, let's see, first initial reactions. Very key, first initial reactions, right? I always forget about the, we've been ranging for so long that I forget that we actually have trending markets. We can take those wick entry buys. Like, we have planned them this week a lot, just due to the fact that we've been pushing up since like Tuesday. So I think Wednesday we had wick entry buy ideas. Thursday, still have yet to get one. But I'll say like 40. This is the resistance, not here. I wouldn't take them here. I'll say more so like next zone. I had it for a second like 42.95, but then that's also the 4-hour flip, which is about to close anyways in about 2 minutes. That will be closing bullish. So not there, that's right at the flip area. Let's see, if we were to get wick entry buys, where could that be? No pullbacks, no way up is what you want to see, right? I'll put more so here. What's this? 4297. Is that where I just had it? Yeah, it's basically where I just had it. I'll say here, like, yeah, 4287. If you were to pull back that far without like creating structure, 4287, right? Very key. Like, the zone is one thing, chat, but something else that's important is like how it comes down too. So like whether if you have like structure coming down or it's like one consistent move down, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna be key difference with wick entry buys. Otherwise you have a situation like Wednesday where we had a wick entry sell and we moved it from the first initial idea, like for instance like 42.87. This is considered to be a first initial idea, right? For the wick entry buys. And then down Wednesday, we went from the first initial idea to 1,000 pips or whatever. I think it was like 500 to 1,000 pips later at a different price point, and we had the same wick entry sell idea because you kept making small time for structure. So like same thing here, like you don't want to see structure. If you come down like this and you pull back, like what do you think is going to happen when you re-break the lows, right? It just increases the probability. It would just increase the probabilities of like driving once it actually does make a low, right? Because then this is just like a lower high. So that's why like when it makes its way down, if it makes its way down, you want to see one clean, consistent move. Like you can get small time frame push pullbacks, it's fine. Like small time frame pushes, like will look something like this, like that's okay, right? But nothing like severe, like nothing like this, and then to a point where it could look like a fake out, right? Because if that happens and you come back down, it's like, damn, that's a lot of liquidity. Like anything you pull back for is like liquidity, right? But that's still pretty far. I think this is still like 700 pips, so that could be an idea too. And I think that can go on until probably nothing between here, just because in these areas it could be like, I'm looking at this right here, top of this range, bottom of this range. So basically here, if you were to break into that area, that could likely just flip and fill. So I wouldn't look for them there, but wick entry buys could also be like down here at 41.14 or below like 41.75. So I have like for wick entry buys, like these green zones here, so here, and then more so in this range. I would miss out on probably like whatever's in here. If we're not able to get here because it pulls back, right, and creates structure, next zone will be here. So nothing in yellow zone, and I don't know we'll have sells in the yellow zone yet, but it could be possible based off if you create structure coming down first, right? So yeah, that might be the closest idea actually. Not the wick entry sells up here, because this is still going to require what? This is like 1,300 pips. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, not bad. 42.87. I'll put that there. 42.87. Yeah, pretty much there. That's it. If you correct NFP, the push, right? It could also be a big push too. And how much are stops for that? If you do get it in at 42.87, like 21, not 22 basically at that point. It's not bad. It's not bad. This little space, you see you're 5% down from the loss in June W. So how far is this now? 600? That's not too bad, chat. Just a 600 pip poop. 600 pip pop. 600 pip poop. 600 pip pop down. Pretty much it. This could be clean traffic too, just because like this is the correction, right, of the news candle, or yeah, it's the correction if it's clean traffic. But that's why we don't got sells right now, right? Because this can still be a higher low too, so don't get it twisted. I don't know, chat, from here whether it's gonna drop down or not. So it's our position for the wick entry buys is like if it were to drop down, right? But we're not looking for any ideas here because you don't have enough. I don't have enough like confirmations in these zones here to confirm that from here it's just gonna reverse. Aside from the fact that there's an idea out there that you correct news and this is how it could look like. But looking at price, like it's still, this is the very first move down, right? Until you actually get like actual structure, you know, to actually develop that idea, there could later then be ideas down here if this is what is to happen, because then this is actually liquidity, and then these are just like lower highs, right? And it just adds on to the idea that you're not going to reflip bullish again. So that's what I mean by like I don't have enough confirmations for that idea. Two 30 pips. 230 pips on the way down so far. Not too bad. 1 minute leg candle right here. What's up, T-Wop? What's going on, man? What's going on, man? You talking about BTC, YG? Let's see, what's BTC doing today? BTC USD. BTC USD. Wow, so you've range, faked out, pushed down, range. So now it's just one massive range. Yeah, it's just in that area. 65. What's let's check our other pair stage at. Now it's 100. Not bad. What's GJ doing? Didn't you have like interest rates for the pound yesterday? Oh wow. The Nfp candle came down 150 for GJ. That's not bad at all. Doge review. Yeah, I can try. Let's see what's up. You said, what's the thing for that? You said Doge, bro. This thing is at like 0. I think same idea for gold. Like, I mean, this is your support clearly, right? This is your next resistance. So until you get a little bit of motion and start breaking above, what is this, 20 cents? Is that what that is, 20 cents? Or that 0,200, 2,000, whatever that is, 0.2? Until you break above there, I don't have enough information here, bro. Aside from the fact that you're at support, but the ideal thinking would be like, oh yeah, you're at support, let's take a buy. But, you know, I don't think I have much information here until break above like 0.2. You break 0.2, because this is gonna be the range, or if it even comes back up. I don't know. This is a meme coin at the end of the day, right? I don't know, but until you actually start breaking above, and then, you know, maybe pulling back, holding the ranges, it might create bigger ranges. Honestly, it might just start extending the ranges between here and here instead, right? That could be the range that it could be in. Until then, man, I would not know, man. Because you need a little bit of information to be printed here. So higher lows or structure, whatever it is, but something aside from the only confirmation you would, anyone would really have right now is some belief or some support. Like, oh yeah, you have support, right? So like the general thing to do is just take a buy. Aside from that, I don't have much to really say off of this. But I will say, like, these are your ranges. Like, I think this is going to be pretty key, like 0.2. If you break above there, there'll be more information, because then you're correcting this entire range, and then it's a matter if you can break above there, and then after that it becomes like liquidity time. So, you know, pulling back, structure, all of that, and then the range will likely be extended towards here, and then based off of like the structure that gets printed in this area, you can then make decisions above here. But yeah, that's like, I don't really know, honestly. Looking at this is one meme coin. It's at nearly 0 right now. So I don't know. I don't got much insight. What's XRP at? Wow, XRP is at $1. Yeah, I think same thing with XRP too. Like, until you actually make your way back above like $2, like, I wouldn't be able to tell off of this what's gonna happen. Because this is all clean traffic too, could just make its way back down as well, right? The only thing you're missing is probably just structure. So if you do get a pop above, just be mindful of that. It could be a fake out, especially if you're breaking above here for the first time. It could easily just lead to a continuation back down to the bottom of the range. So yeah, I'll say above $2. Back above there, you get more information. If you get something like that, yeah, back above here could be clean pops. But until then, right? Like, this is all clean traffic, so you gotta be mindful of that too. On XRP, BTC is not bad. Like, it's not really. It pulled back, it fell back to 60 from like 120. It's still holding 48, surprisingly. So yeah, I said it's just in the range right now though. there's not much information being printed here too. Same thing with gold. There's still that gap here that has not been filled yet. That range fell, right? So could it come back up? It could. These can just be higher lows overall, right? You had a push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. That's pretty steep, right? But if you make your way back above here and create structure, then this is a possibility of a higher low. But looking at it, I'll say this is just your range. So you're gonna spend some time here. What's US30 doing today? Just bullish, right? This thing is every day you look at US30, it's just bullish. Like, what's the going? What's it gonna do today? It's gonna go up every time. I'd say spreads are. I don't know. Spreads are. I couldn't tell earlier whether they were like tight or not. It was looking good though. W. Wow, this was 30%. Damn. Why was mine so severe? Like our loss from like January. That's a good looking chart. That's a consistent chart. What can you buy for 326? I have 42.87. I don't have a 26. Where'd you get 26 from? Let's see. 26. Wow, I keep doing that. 26 off of these areas. 26, yeah, that's off of that, right? Let's see. I think it could be a reaction zone for sure, though, just because like it's a little bit traffic here and traffic here. So yeah, I think mine's more severe, right? Because 42.70. Yeah, it could be. It could be a reaction zone here. It's not bad. How much is is a reaction from here to here? 360. 360. I feel Steve Austin. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Wait, 26, right? 26. What was that? 26. 26. 360. Because there's also no pullbacks coming up here. Why'd I have 40? Yeah, 26 is not bad. It could be. Let's see. If we get a 26, what could stops be here? You probably want to try 40.99 or something. 40.92. Could be a leg candle body reaction too at that zone. 2300. Yeah, it's not bad because this structure coming down is like not really formed, right? If it's 2300 pips, then 0.05. But yeah, there's no structure here. Yeah, this could be a reaction zone. I think yeah, it could be an idea. 26. I'll leave that there, and then let's see how it comes down. You still got a little bit to go. But if it can just completely just come straight down, no pullbacks, it could be, because that is off of these areas. But I'm gonna be very strict with this because like you don't want to see pullbacks at all. Like if this were to just come up and break the previous high like this, I'll remove it. So you want to see this constantly just make its way down. And the next zone below 26 I have is 4287. So that's our original zone 2 today, chat. NYC, yeah, NYC. Is there anything else there, chat? Wow, 89,000 trades. Well, post NFP is always the best time I trade, but every trade dips off after. Yeah, nothing else today, just 10 IV PMI. And you got to pull back, right? True. True. All right, I was short-lived idea. Let's delete that. Oh man, I was short-lived though. But yeah, 42.87. I'm still gonna have 42.87. Like, I'm not too strict with the pullback just because it's a more major zone. But this is 26 had a it's still like a reaction area, right? But you didn't want to see pullback because then that's just high, lower highs if it were to come down again, right? Because now you kind of got that, you got this. If you were to come down again, that's just like more structure, especially here, lower highs. So that would likely push through. Could still be a reaction though. Let's see, next zone after 26 is 14. What do you have, clones? I think 14 is like the body reaction of the 1 hour lead, 1 hour lead body reaction. Chat, we only, like, you know how we take leg candle fills? We only ever took like one time a leg candle body reaction. It didn't go well. That was our loss from June last year, June 2025. We only took it one time though, but like a wick entry buy off a body reaction. You know how you're expecting a body reaction off a leg candle, right? We took it once. So not enough times to say that's not valid, but this 15 zone will be a leg candle body reaction zone. Highs and lows. I put this in a lot. I know. That was quick. Yeah, that was quick. That was quick. That was a quickie. Some like wick for wick entry strat, sometimes it's like I'm more strict than less strict based off of like how strong it is right now or how much of a pullback it is, right? Towards that area. I think I based mine 87 zones chat off the 4 or off the daily zones there, off of these and a little bit there, a little bit here. I think TP could also be a little better too for runners. If we get a 87, 88 zones chat, TP will attempt like a third 43.19. We'll attempt it, but that's a pretty large TP, right? 250, and then we'll have like some BEs on the way up. I think trail stops are not bad too, because if you do get a reaction off of that zone, you're looking at BEs like 40 pips off bat. That's like the bare minimum, right? Trail stops probably like 93 off of that wick right there. We'll probably have more trail stops when we actually get down there, but that's lots of range. So just a small reaction alone is like gonna be a small reaction. In this case, it's gonna be 120 pips, right? So that's why runners are more prone to happen. What do you think of 5-4? 5-4 24 zone? That's pretty far. Is that optimized? 5-4 24. I'm not too sure, but I think if we start breaking above like 49, we'll be back into that range. So we'll probably have that as a focus, you know, in the future if we do make our way up above 49. I'll probably use something like that, yeah, at that point. I mean, ask me when it gets closer, you know? I'll have a better answer. Why gold going up without normal retests? iRacing correction? IR correction? What's IR correction? iRacing? Normal retest. Correction? Because gold is free to do what it wants to do. So, as to why, I don't know. Well, obviously, you have Nfp that came out. You had FOMC that came out last week, right? I'm sure within this week, you had news that came out that probably, like some economical news that probably swayed it to go that direction. So that's probably by natural why it moved up. But if you're asking like, when is it going to pull back? Why did it move without pulling back? I don't know if, I don't know, and I don't know if we even need to figure out why it did that, if that makes sense. Because if it starts breaking above like 43, 87, 85 zones and then starts creating structure here, then it's fine. You don't always get a pullback, right? Especially if it starts just making its way up and starts holding these zones here, you can get a pullback later on. I would like to see, like, yeah, I would prefer if it can just come down, grab a whole lot of liquidity, and then make its way up. That would be clean, right? But it doesn't need to do that. It can also just create structure above here and hold. So, I mean, we'll find out anyways what price does, you know what I mean? What's up, Cookie? I had a 33.39 resistance zone. 33.39. Sheesh. 43.39. Sorry, 44.24. What did you say? 44.24. What I think about that zone? I think that is between. I have a 45.02, which is like my next like major zone on price. Probably a little higher, to be honest. More so 40, 44, 45, 47. What's this? 42.40 or 44.24. That's around here. It's some type of resistance for sure, but I think it's very weak because this candle was able to correct it right here. This candle right here, this bearish one, was able to correct the entire thing without struggling. Right, there was no struggle there, just one clean pop on a daily. Maybe a smaller time frame might get more info. Not even on the 4, right? This is just constantly clean. So on the way up, if it mirrors that, it could be constantly clean as well. So I don't have anything in between 43.49 and 45.02. Just because you have this, like this is clean traffic. And you're probably wondering, like, if it's clean traffic, why don't you get a buy done? Because I need to wait for structure above, which we could get today, and we will be in buys if that does happen. But yeah, that's clean traffic at the end of the day, right? That's clean. You have a lot of clean traffic too, because remember, we like this year we had a lot of bearish rallies. So every time you rally like that, like on the way back up, it's gonna be clean, right? And you can look at this and say, well, this wasn't clean. This was pretty slow up. But now you can look at this as an overall range now, resistance and your support, right? So if you start breaking back into that, man, especially if you grab liquidity, I think the only thing that's missing really is just liquidity at this point for this range fill. But if you grab liquidity or if you create structure going up, this range is technically clean. And then especially above here, that's clean traffic once again, right? So this could be used as clean traffic, although looking left, like it looks pretty rangy, but it's the idea that it's the overall range you're breaking back into, right? So if you kind of like look at price like this and divide your ranges up, you can put this. You can also put this up here. You can also put this up here, right? You can help divide the ranges up, so you can see like at what point like price struggles at more. So you can see right now between the green and the purple, it's more so likely gonna range between there, and then between the purple and the blue, you know, there's another resistance there. So like higher time frame zones in terms of structure, that's kind of what you're looking at, because it's just structure really. All that this is just like, you know, it's just structure. At the end of the day, and now you're ranging, now you're coming up. So let's put this like this, and let's put it like this, right? This is all that happened. This is all that happened, right? So yeah, this is like breaking above the previous low. So this is technically breaking structure above here. The only thing is like structure, like small time for structure now, like small time for liquidity, right? You get something like this, you start breaking back above, something like that, break back above, like this is gonna be very directional. I'm pretty sure for that entire month or that entire like cycle that we're in that purple zone, then after you print liquidity, we'll have so much buys. I mean, lots of opportunities there. But like I'll say though, this week is the most prone you will likely be for FOMO. After this, it settles down and it becomes more directional. But especially this week, because you range for the whole entire month of July, right? So this is the very first week of the month and you're moving like this already. It looks like it's on crack, right? So everyone wants to take a hit of what's moving right now, but there's a lot more to come. It's just transitioning into the next market cycle. So Wicked. And it feels fun to a gamble. W gamble. Wait, weren't you the same guy that asked me last time, give me advice on how to stay disciplined? Every time I scale up, I start to risk crazy. And you over here saying that you're gambling, bruh. I remember that. But W gambles. W gambles. Sometimes you guys be asking questions you guys know the answers to. Straight up, you guys know the answers to it. Gamble maxing. Anyone else gamble max today? Anyone else buy stop maxing today? Ain't nothing wrong gambling if that's what you're intentionally gonna do, but you also gotta know when to like kind of I mean you know what you're doing, right, when you gamble. So flip it and rip it. wasn't expecting this from you, Don. I think there's everything wrong about gambling. Well, if you gamble intentionally on an account and you know you're gambling on an account, like that person said they made a new account for it. Is it ideal? Is it gonna help with their actual other account? It doesn't help. But if someone's gonna open an account to intentionally gamble, the thing is, like, you gotta know how to go from this point back to this point. Like, you gotta bring yourself back to your like kind of reality after gambling. When you gamble, you're off the shits after. You're jumping off the walls. You're like dopamines to the max. Like you're locked in, right? So you want to keep chasing the high when you gamble on an account, right? So then you just continue flipping it. But the thing is, like, you continue flipping it, your luck runs out. You're gonna blow that account eventually. So I was saying, like, you gotta know what you're doing. Like, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into. You gotta know that you're here to gamble. If you're gambling, you're here to gamble. You're not gonna like continue, like, bro, you know, you gamble. The longer you gamble, the longer you're more likely you're gonna lose it. So you gotta make sure you withdraw that shit, right? But is that gonna help with his other account? Nah, but, well, bro, what am I gonna say? Like, yo, don't gamble. Like, he called it WC. I'm not gonna crash his shit. But at the same time, if I were to tell him, like, is that gonna help him? Is that gonna make good habits? Is that gonna like help him with his long-term trading? Probably not. But like, again, like, if he opened a second account to gamble, fucking do what you will. But you gotta be able to differentiate too. Yeah, you gotta be able to tell, like, you gotta know what you're doing. Like, you can't just gamble and then start treating like a regular account after. Like, you gotta withdraw at the moment you actually hit on your whatever you do gamble with. Like, people gamble funded accounts all the time. Is it degen? Yeah, but fuck, bro. Every now and then you got like a little degen. It's fine, but it's like you gotta be able to bring yourself back though. That's the thing. That's the hard part. That's what a lot of traders can't do, right? It's like bringing themselves back to like kind of that regular habits, regular trading mode after gambling. So like you don't want to do it for so long, because then you just kind of instill that into your brain. Like, I remember when we gambled a 1K account, we flipped it 1K to 30. Then I just withdrew it, because in the past I understood that if I keep doing that, the account is gonna go back to zero, right? Because it's a bit of luck you need to gamble. That's the point of gambling. You need a little bit of luck. But if you were to ask me, would I rather gamble at the casino or gamble the charts? I'd rather gamble the charts. Your odds are just much better. But you know, you're more in control too of your bankroll and all of that. Casino's like 50-50, 49, right? Blackjack's like 49, Baccarat's like 50-50, roulette is like 49 point something as well, or 48, something like that. You'll be able to code switch. That's what that is. Code switch. But chat, please don't gamble. We're actually gambling every day. Every decision you make is a gamble, really. Highs and lows. I put you doing that. I don't know. the retracement was over, you can kind of see it since buys are taking over. Then we'll see. Then I guess it's going up. Oh man. So really it was just like Nfp today. It's been like about an hour though. An hour and like 40 minutes since, so I think around a 2 hour mark you can pick up again around 10. I wouldn't say it's a done day. Then we still have until 11:30 chat. So lots of life today, man. Lots of moves that could still happen. It's a possibility. Possibly. Yeah, let's talk about it. Break the highs. What happened when you break the highs? If you break the highs, and that's has a higher chance to go. But my issue isn't like breaking the highs here. It's like, was that enough liquidity? So I think I said it earlier too. Like if it just pulls back from here and then re-breaks, I wouldn't just take a buy off bat. Like I am looking for positions between here and like 45.05, but I'm probably gonna need like more structure going up. Unless this came down earlier. If this came down earlier towards like these areas and then made its way back up, then above these highs would be okay for me. That'll be fine, like completely fine, because now you actually have more liquidity. But I'm not able to figure out if this is enough liquidity or it's gonna come down steeper. So if I'm not able to figure out, it's fine. I'll apply a second confirmation, which is just like above. I'll apply a second break or 2 pullbacks or something. But again, like that was very minor. Even that pullback, right? Like it barely made a down price. Is what I'm trying to say. Like you can't really tell what just happened. It just nothing really happened in this area yet. But if we do get positions, I'm assuming more so above into these areas, right? If you get enough structure going up here, we can get the buys above there. And then wick entry sells at 452 still got. But yeah, it could lead to continuation. Like, cause all that happened was this: you had a push, you had a pullback, and you re-break, right? You're more prone to drive. The question becomes like this: like when you start looking at the other time frames and details. So that's the only thing I'm missing. But better than nothing, right? Better than just like constantly driving up. Do you always need liquidity to push? No. If you just drive up and create structure going up, I wouldn't say that's liquidity. That's more so structure. Liquidity would be like this, right? So it's 2 options. It's not. I don't think it's like one or the other. That the liquidity would be nice, but if you don't get liquidity and you just constantly go up, then it's just small time from structure. You want to see price push up, pull back, hold, push up, price pull back, hold, and then now you have higher lows going up. So right now you only have 1. It's not bad. But if you can come up again, pull back, right? I'm assuming more so above here will be our positions. We also need to confirm volume too, right? Because that's also lacking as well. Like you don't have much volume right now in this area. So it's not like I wouldn't like mentally when you run through your head, you wouldn't just sit there and say like, you need liquidity or you don't. It's like, it's fine if you don't. It's fine if you do. It's just you have different options for both ends of it, right? Like you apply a second confirmation if you don't have liquidity. If you do have liquidity, then you'll know like at what point you'll look for those positions at once it does come back up again. But it's not like a yes or a no. Like liquidity, I think it's gonna print liquidity, or I don't think it's gonna print liquidity, right? Like I don't think that's like the right or there could be an easier process than just that, than just predicting it from that far of a range. How do you know it's liquidity sweep than structure? Yeah, basically what I just said. Like you don't need to know that. The same way you don't need to know whether news is gonna come out pushing up or down, because you're still gonna need other confirmations, right? It's not like I'm over here, because like the only reason you'll probably need to know, like, oh, is this gonna be liquidity or a structure break, is if you're looking for position right now, like in this very moment on price, like right here, you're looking to see if you can take that next move down, and then, or from here look for buys because this is enough, right? But like, why do you want to make it harder for yourself? Like, why do you need to predict it from here? Just wait for the actual liquidity to confirm. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I run it. That's how I run it in my head. But I wouldn't try to make a prediction here, either if this is gonna be liquidity or not. Because we'll know, right? We'll find out anyways. Like, if it comes down, this should come down. If it doesn't, it comes back up. Amazing, that's liquidity. Now it's just about small time from structure here, and then above here, you have continuation. A higher prone to get continuation, because now you have this information. The fact that you pulled back down, you didn't continue down, you came back up into the ranges, right? You're re-breaking the highs. That's more information. That's more information here, and then that's just a higher probable idea than like trying to guess it with like the very minimal, aside from the fact that you're maybe at like a daily zone, on like you got a daily resistance. You know, it's a very minimum. It's not bad, but that's how I process it. Same thing goes with bias too. Like, you don't need to figure out the bias unless you're looking for a position from this point where you're looking to see if it's gonna go up or down. But why don't you just wait for it to go up and wait for the confirmations to align after the small time frame ones, right? Or wait for it to go down. And if it goes down, so same thing with my plays today. Like, I have a 42.87. I don't know if it's gonna come down to 42.87. I don't know that. But if it does, I have a scenario for that play. Same thing, if it goes up, I wouldn't know from here if it's gonna continue straight up. But if it does, and it doesn't print structure, let's say, it doesn't print those other ideas that I just mentioned, then I have an idea up there for 4502. Because this move more so is the confirmation, if that makes sense, than the actual move that I'm looking for. Could it be a higher low to come down that just creates in the 5? Could this be a higher low to come down that creates in the 5? Higher low to come down that just creates in the 5. Higher low to come down that just creates in the 5. Like you're saying, if it could be a higher low, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that if it comes all the way down towards 42.87 without structure, that's a possible play. From here, I don't know. It could. I don't know. If it does, comes back up into the ranges, create structure, I don't know what to do here. You know what I mean? I don't know from here. I just know it's in the range, and you're still early in the day, so this could just be a lower highs too. So yeah, it's a possibility, right? This didn't break this high. It's a possibility, but is there enough for me to know? And because if I knew what was gonna happen, I'll look for a position there, right? But I don't have enough info. It's like maybe 75%, 50%. It's not like fully there for me. What's up, Smart from the City? Make sense though? You guys know what I mean when I say I don't know, right? $4360.89 resistance plus celery. Resistance plus celery? Where? On the 5 or something? On the 5th, 30? 30 broke the highest this then. If it's a 30 celery, 30 is a very weak closure though. Let's see, it was NYSE open. You still didn't do much with the NYSE open. I put you through a lot, I know. Highs and lows. That's just not bad. You're from Jamaica, smart from the city? W. I did not know that. $65,000 traders now. Chat, remember that movie Cool Runnings? The bobsled team? That movie is elite. It was Jamaican bobsled team. That shit was, that movie was elite. Dun, 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 dun. This is like the M like McDonald's here, bro. Consumer inflation expectations. Is it actually? How did I miss that? I don't see it for me. Is it on a different site? Consumer inflation expectations. Let's see, 1 hour closure here. That's gonna close weak bearish like the 30s, so Weak bearish, holding the ranges still, so it's not really breaking any structure, right? If it flips bullish though, it will be a leg candle. If it closes bullish like this, that's your leg candle. And this is your, if you re-break the lows, could you get 4287? Hold on. Actually, movement. Fibonacci. 100 pip minute candle chat. That's not bad. Right before the 1 hour close. So, how far are you away now? I mean, 520 still, but. $43.12. Could it be? That's right. The re-break lows. Yeah, I'll leave 87. Let's see. 4306. What is this? No, it's a re-break lows. Yeah, I think it's gonna be 87. On the re-break lows, if you get the wick entries, whenever it's like near re-break low, you want usually you want to put it a little below. Because then it's just a range breakout, right? Like for instance, like it's the same thing when we look for wick entry sells. Let's say it's like grabbing liquidity. Let's say it's something like this, and it starts to range, right? And then it breaks above. Like, would you prefer to take the wick entry sells here, where you've tested so many times already, or like once the moment you break above, right? Because then the first break could be a fake out, because then it could be a higher low to continue up, or it could be a lead to a fake out. Then you want them to be like right here. Right, so same thing goes when you're like about to let's say correct the Nfp move. Like the bottom of the range technically is like right here, right? So Nfp came out, popped straight up in the ranging, so on the way down taking wick entry buys here, especially when you're about to re-break, same thing, like it can just push through. So if you take a wick entry buy, you preferably want to take it once you actually break out, because then it can lead to a pullback to continue down, or it can lead to like a fake out back into the range, right? So that's why, like, close to these areas, you probably want to stay out. That's the bottom of the range. Let's see, 1 hour could bring volume here, chat. 10 a.m. So it's been like 2 hours since the break, you know? Like since you actually had volume off Nfp 2 hours ago. So I would assume there's still volume today. Very nice, very nice. 1 hour close. Yeah, it was actually stronger than it looked earlier. I thought I was gonna close holding to 49 earlier. Not bad, not bad. 550. I guess I ain't got FOMO no more. W Kyle, man. For 2 years now, I guess the next cycle gold gonna move. I'm positive I can survive. W. And you're about to transition into it too, so. And it's gonna be a much easier cycle than you just came out of. So for sure, for sure. I still got FOMO though. I get FOMO all the time. By natural, I always got FOMO. But it's acting on it, you know, that's one thing. That's good. W Kyle. Chat, you guys think we're gonna trade today? Put a 1 if you guys think we're gonna trade today. Put a 2 if not. Still got like an hour and a half, and you're starting to move right now. So but to re-break the lows, what was this from? 918. I think you just re-broke the lows actually. So let's see. Can you drive? And this could be quick too. This could be quick. It could be quick because this is clean traffic, right? Three? What 3 mean? 3? 3 must mean 2 trades. That's possible for 2 trades. What can't you buy in a directional position? Could be possible. Possible. Yo, starting glitch chat. Let's see. We'll get some volume. We also we had that short-lived idea earlier too. At 20, what was it, 23, I think. So let's see if it still reacts off of that zone here. There's a chance, chat. It could be a little higher than 87. It could be 91. Still, you know, still going to require a move down, but maybe like a 40 pip difference. Let's see. Let me check one more time what I got here. Yeah, 87. No, same thing. I'm gonna leave it. 87. 87. It's pretty clean. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. Hold on, chat. I'll be back in like literally 10 seconds. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, you can treat this as a leg candle too here, so 4320 could be a reaction still. I'm looking for 87. 4287. Pretty much. Pretty much. Gold. What's up, man? Hey, Don, I got a question. Why don't you enter their sell position if there's clean traffic, price down? Because just because I said clean traffic doesn't mean it's like my like confirmation for a drop down, right? Clean traffic is good for the position that we could get for the wick entry buys. That's an idea I have at 87. I don't have any sells coming down here until far. I don't think I have sell ideas until, well, it might not be far if you create structure coming down, especially if you like start to re-break the highs and make your way back down like this. And then in this range I can look for sells. But yeah, just, like for me, like clean traffic doesn't mean like it's a position. Like any clean traffic is a position. Depends on if I have everything else like aligned already, right? Like I don't have any sells until below, like by default, without structure, until at least below like 41.76. I don't think I plan for sells at all. Only wick entry sells we do have up here. But I don't have anything like, you see this blue range that we're in right now? This blue range, I don't have anything for sells. I have a wick entry buy here though, 87. Because with the info we have here, I don't have information to like determine that we're coming down yet. Like clean traffic is a bare minimum, you know what I mean? It's not bad though, but it wasn't enough information for me today. I need to wait for more information. So if price like maybe can come up, break the highs, re-break the lows, continue back down, yeah, below here I'll look for ideas for sells. I'll catch the end of the bottom of this area, right, on the way down towards 87. But I need that structure to back up that idea. From here it can still be higher lows. It can still be, this is a move for Nfp. This can just be a higher low to continue up still, right? And you're probably asking like, well, Don, if you think it's gonna be a higher low, here's the thing. I don't think it's gonna be a higher low. I don't know, right? Same way for a clean traffic way down. Like if you think it's gonna be clean traffic, why don't you take sells? Like the same thing for like if you think it's gonna be a higher low, why don't you take positions for buys? Like I don't have like ideas for buys here until you break above the highs again, right? And this is good too. This is nice structure. And if you break above the highs and then print more structure like this, same thing I said earlier, that's what I'm looking for. But I can't make the guess from here like whether we're gonna come up or not. The only thing I have is the bare minimum, which is just the fact that you have a higher low here. Like this is the first higher low you have on the way down, right? But at the same time, it's clean traffic, so it's like when you have that conflict, you want to wait and you want to apply that those confirmations to kind of help that conflict kind of break apart, right? If like it's clean traffic, but at the same time it could be a higher low, why would I want to take a position, right? Because there's just too much conflict. It could be either or right now. It's more so 50-50. So I want to apply the confirmation until one side gets more heavy with ideas. Does that make sense? Right, but I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, it can't go down, or you know, it's clean traffic, right? So that means that there's a possibility, but it's just not enough. Make sense? W. This is a five celery. That's what they say. 5 celery. Not bad price day, chat. This is, I know it's a little slow for 2 hours, but again, 10 a.m. This has been a 2-hour break period, right? Like that transition. So this is next. I'm assuming this could be liquidity. This might be your biggest pullback since, right? Like this is your biggest pullback that we saw. And I said earlier, like, I don't know if that's enough. There could be something steeper, right? And technically, how much was this? This was overall 750. This pullback right now will be 820. So technically this will be the biggest pullback if you do come down towards 87. And it could get larger than that. But that is a reaction zone. So I do have something there for now. But very key, chat, just once again, it matters how you come down. So you don't want to see structure on the way down. You want to see one constant move, right? This is, I wouldn't consider this structure, but like if it prints something like this where it makes its way down like this, right? Like we have wick entry buys at 87 right now. That's a zone, that's a level for one, but like how it comes down matters more than the actual zone, right? But if you pull back like this, I mean, this is still fine. This is still pretty far, so that's okay. That's fine. This is all fine. But if you come down like this, for instance, you tap into this no bottom wick zone, could be a reaction zone here. That's what I'm afraid of. It could just reject earlier. And you pull back like this. Okay, if you were to come down from here, it's like, think about it. You now have 2 higher lows, right? You now have 2 lower highs, sorry. So if you start making way back down again, everything's gonna happen. It's gonna likely push through. So then, could we take wick entry buys here still? No. Could we then look forward to wick to taking continuation sells? Yeah, right. Because now you have like lower highs. So like having a zone for one is one thing, but you gotta pay attention to how it comes down too, right? So that's what I mean by like that matters when it comes to our wick entry buys. Could this be invisible candles? This also could be an invisible candle too. If you block that out, like anything below here, it could be clean traffic. Or your next support comes in this zone. I'll say between here, chat. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, like between, like in that black zone, that black level. A7 and 71 between there. Might as well just delete this. Actually, let's delete the blue zone. Let's put that there like that. Off of these wicks here is what we're looking for. Because last time you reacted here, same thing, right? When you reacted here in the past, like in these zones, it would come back down towards and struggle here. So that's where I'm assuming the wick entry buys would be, right? Same thing. You go look left here. The only time we didn't do it was this. This just kind of shot right through. But looking left, like there's been here, and a little bit of struggle here. But if it does lead to this anyways, I'm assuming we'll see structure or something the way down. W Kyle. Trader saying no, not yet. Still waiting for those ideas. Still, I think the only thing we added today was maybe like 24 zones, like a lot, like very early though, like a lot earlier today. I think would have came close anyways. It would have been 20, so we would have missed that anyways. But yeah, same ideas. 87 wick entry buys, and then wick entry sells at 45.02, and then for continuation buys above here, just need some structure. So we are printing the structure right now. We're in the process of it. So manage just if you could continue breaking above, pulling back, hold, continue breaking above, and then we'll look for ideas. We have all of this range up, but let's gotta print that structure first, right? So yeah, we're getting more information here though. This is something. This is good. It's not really dry. 'Not bad, not bad. For a 10 level good. 4 for a 10 for what? Like what, can't you sell or something, or what you looking for? 4 for a 10. sometimes good, sometimes shit. Like, I don't know what you're looking for there. Breakouts, fake outs. I don't know. You gotta elaborate. Oh, you asking about fib? If it's a fib level, it's a fib level. If it's a fib level, it's a fib level. I don't use fibs, so I don't. Like, if you draw your fib, I'm guessing you drew it from maybe here or something. I'm not too sure. I don't have anything between them, at least right now. There's like looking, there's minor zones here though. Yeah, like some reactions here. So it's like 4430, 4420 zones near your 4410s. One hour left. I doubt it's gonna close like this though. It's still got like 4 minutes left. 35 minutes until a 1 hour leg candle. And then 4 hour flip is basically at 43.62. see, 30 minute can close the leg candle. And if that closes the leg candle, you re-break the lows again. That's a lower high right now that we have. So more structure, which is not bad actually. So I'm like, could there be a possibility that we get ideas for sells? We gotta see first if there is structure or if this is the lower high, right? Could be a double trade day still. One minute. Let's see. Could it be that candle? How much time is left? 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. It's like a doji-ish leg candle, but idea in general, like overall, like if you the movement of it at least is like this. All right, so if you come back down, it's still gonna be a lower high regardless if it's a leg candle or not. So that's cool. That's not bad. Let's see what happens here on the opening. But look, these are still being held, right? Lower highs still being formed too. So now you have more of that to back up the idea that this could just be the reaction zone. Like we're still at the weekly zones, right? Weekly and daily zones as well. It's not bad. Let's see if you can get a little bit of structure coming down. Like I'm assuming there could be like reaction zones between here. So if you can come down towards here, pull back lower highs again. Below here, I wonder if we can look for something in these areas coming down. That candle fill too. I'm assuming here could be reaction zones or next zones that you approach. Spreads are not bad too. I think they're a little better than when it was coming up. Not bad, not bad. Let's see if we get the, let's put it there for now. If we get 43.36, I think you're looking at 45.51 up here. How much is that? 44.51. That will be 21, so then 0.06. Also, the 15 is an invisible candle too, so that is not even there. That'd just be clean. Let's see how far is this. This is like at least another like 80, like 90 pips ish around there. I'm assuming these bottom wick areas are going to be like the reaction areas, anywhere between there, and we'll grab like the very bits of it. The higher we get, the better, right? But below here is like 70 ish. But you still gotta push down. I didn't measure the dollars, like you said, $64, etc. For what? $64? 64 pips. 64 pips. I just took the measuring tool. I just go like this. So you see how it says 800 or 700? Okay, 816 points. That's 81 pips. So every 100 points is 10 pips. So times 8 plus 1.6, 81 points, right? 81.6. Or 81.6 pips, sorry, right there, that number right there. Or you can go on TradingView and you can measure it like this too. There's like this is 1700 points, so 770 pips. Dollar's a little different though. Like $36 down to like $28, let's say. 43.35 to 43.28. That's gonna be $7, right? So $7 is 70 pips. If you want to measure in dollars, you can do that as well. Every dollar on gold is 10 pips. You open position, but you don't know your take profit, man. I have like a 49 zone. I have a 36 zone. So you could use those zones as like advantage points. I usually set, like, I try to set them beforehand. I think for you, 330, like you're like 145 in profit, right? Or no? How much is that? Yeah, 104 pips in profit. Just BE minimum and then just trail stops. If you want, I have a 36 zone. That could be a trail stop zone. That could be an area you could react at. If you break through there, then you might come down towards 330. If you trail at 36, that's 60 pips secure no matter what. If you don't want to secure, you want to just let it run BE because you want to just give it. I don't know if you want to just hold. Then you can put BE. It's a little greedy though. I mean, that's why you want to like kind of preset your zones beforehand, like preset TPs. You don't gotta go for a crazy TP, a home run every time, right? But you just set like something that is like looking left, something that you could reject that. You don't gotta set like, for you to get entry at 4330, you don't gotta set like 5,000, let's say, right? But something where you believe price will tap into without pulling back at, without creating structure at, right? That's usually where I'll put it. So just like the next major zone. And then just set like BEs and trail stop zones. Because in the moment it taps it, you're just automatically like moving it to BE. You're automatically moving it to in profit. There's no like sitting back and thinking like, can this go up further? Can this be a runner? It's looking good. Then and then you get swayed by your profits too, because the more profits you see, the more you're gonna want to see more, right? So it's good to preset them, because if you preset them, you're not gonna hesitate. It's like I run it by like the market gives me gives me how many pips I'm gonna take. It's not really my decision. Like I can't make a decision how much I'm gonna make today. This trade that we get next, if we do get a trade today, could be a runner, 100 pips plus, could be less, could be 10, could be break even, could be a loss. It's just the market takes the wheel, right? But you gotta place those zones. That's the only thing that's in your control. So those management zones and all of that. More structure. Let's see, he's gonna re-break the highs. Came up for another lower high just then. Close out your buy. There you go. That's good. Very good, very good. So the moves up, the moves down actually have been coming down faster than the moves up so far, right? Like looking at this since like NFP came out, obviously, because the NFP push is strong, right? But since the NFP push, you've had like these moves up pretty slow, sharper move down. You know, this wasn't bad, but still the move down is pretty sharp as well, and then moves up slow. This one wasn't bad. Let's see from here, like this should be able to tell you if it does come down, how strong it is. Right, it's able to correct this entire range quicker than it took to come up. I think on the way up, it took maybe, on the way up here, this took maybe like 9 candles around there. So it's able to correct it with the 9 candles, and that's going to tell you a lot of volume, right? Let's see, 36, right? You want to see a tap into there, then you want to see a pullback from 36. So on the way down, 36 chat is only 70 more pips. And this is still the 30-minute leg candle fill, right? So still got 15 minutes for a leg candle fill. That's a lot of time. 15 closes right now. It's going to close bearish. 5 might close weak bullish. Yeah, weak bullish. Not bad, not bad. 5 leg count? No, if that was bearish, yeah. That's like a weak bullish one though. Could still be a wick fill though, but I wouldn't say a leg candle. Your leg candle would need to be like this, right? That's a bullish leg candle, and then the bearish one would need to be like this. No bottom wick. That's the only way you can get a leg candle. It's still a wick fill though, and if you apply the same formation that you want on the leg candle, then you get the same result, because you're waiting for structure still at the end of the day on that. $30 is one though, I'll say. 30 is like doji-ish leg candle. See chat, starting to glitch. Can I glitch down towards 36? You want to see a tap into 36, right? This is your invisible candle here too, so this might not be like we'll try to attempt. We can put TP if we get below 36. This is if it reacts, right? So wherever the low is, but let's say it's 36. We'll attempt like 26. You could try attempt 13 if you want. I'm probably just gonna attempt this leg candle body reaction 4 through 20. So that's gonna be like around 150-ish. But it'll be nice, like the earlier you get it, right? The more so, the less low you are to these lows, the more so you're closer to like 36 would be better. But you still need a pullback here, right? So push down, pullback, re-break out lows, pullback continuation. So then you're looking for them below here within these wicks there. And that's your invisible candle to 15, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue to break through. And then on top of that, 30-minute leg candle right here too, so it's clean. So this could be a leg candle idea. And then I think I mentioned earlier, stops are going to be, if we get them below 36 chat, stops are going to be like 2200. So 4553, 4551, and then TP. Yeah, we mentioned TP. So yeah, so if it's up here, your stops are looking like, if we do get below 30, 36, 33, 2100, 2200, I'll say. So then my lot size is 0.06 lot. So I'll leave it at that. But you still need to make your way down first, right? So nothing yet. Almost though. And I think preferably before the 1 hour close. If it can run. What is that? The fib retracement? Yeah, I think when I first started, I was using fibs, and then I just started replacing fibs with like support and resistance zones. So I probably still use it in some shape, form, or way. Like these zones can probably line up with any of those indicators somehow, some way. Somehow, some way. So another pullback. So you didn't tap 36, right? But another lower high. That's like I think that's like 3 or 4 of them that you came down, broke the lows, and you struggled. You failed to break above 49. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think we got sells in these areas before too, chat. November 2025, it looks like. 37 to 23 Celsius. Damn. Seven minutes chat. 6 minutes until 11, and then after 11 we'll start placing session stop losses, right? So yeah, let's see. $47 Celsius, where? 47 Celsius, holy shit. And the most I felt was like 36. I don't think I've ever felt 40 before. Cool out. Where's cool out? Oh, in the Middle East. Kuwait. Holy, I'm getting sleepy, chat. Damn. Could this be? Is this the push? Is this the push? Hey, we're 360 away from 8,000 pips. I wonder if we can get to 10,000 this year. Or at 7,000. Got like 4 months left. Probably not, huh? 36, 9, 12. Maybe 9K could be possible. 9K. What's up, Leo? Any trades open? No. Still waiting for these zones to reject below 36. Our wick entry buys at 28, or no, 40. Not 28. Sorry, 42.87. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, you have a 1 hour closure. Not bad. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, 1 hour close, like weak bearish. Still holding the ranges too. So it's nothing really like breaking structure, right? Let's see. We're gonna get another top wick at 49. You think we can still push for up? Maybe 4 to 400? I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Because like this is nice in terms of like higher lows here, but at the same time, let me do an trade view. Yeah, so again, like you're still within these areas here, right? So what'd you say, 4 to 400, which is top of the range? It's possible, but I can't tell from here just because like I don't know whether this is gonna be the actual higher lows or not of liquidity, or it could be steeper. All right, because this can come down and correct the whole Nfp move. Still, it's a possibility, right? So I'll only know, like I wouldn't be able to call it from here, like from 43, 45, wherever we are with the information that I have on my screen, whether it's gonna go up to 400 or not. It's like this could be a higher low, right? But that's just like it could be a higher low. It's not like this is not consistent enough to confirm that until you actually have structure. And by the time you do have structure, that's gonna be requiring like a push up, pull back and hold, and continuation. So I'll be able to tell maybe once you actually break above your size, and then pull back. It may not pull back, it may just push straight up, right? But that's the thing. I don't know. If it does do that though, like if it does start to break the highs here, these highs right here, and then it decides to push up, right, like that, pulls back, holds like onto these zones right here, then yeah, from there as you re-break the highs, I'm looking for positions here. But I wouldn't look for them unless I would know, right? So I would, or unless I have those confirmations set up. I can't tell from here. I know it's in a range though. It's between here and this is the top of the range, yeah. So from that standpoint, like the very minimum, like you could say, it's still like very doable. But would I be able to take anything from here or tell from here? No, I don't know. Unless you pull back steeper. Like that will give us more range here, because even if you do push up above here and you pull back, like it's tradable, right? It's still gonna be like some like 200 range or whatnot, like 150 200 range. But if you can come down further, right, it may or may not come down further. I don't know, but if it does, and for some reason it pushes back up into the ranges, into these areas, we can look for buys instead. So we'll have a much bigger range to play with. All right, that's 350 pips. But if that happens, that's going to require a push down. So, yeah. That's what I mean by like, I wouldn't know. I just don't have enough information. Or price hasn't printed enough information. What time frame we look for the break? Just in general, like the idea of it. All time frames. So like you might not see it. On a 4, you might just see a 4-hour kind of flipping bullish, right? But at the same time, the minute in the 5:15, you might see like that structure start to form. So it's just the movement of it in general. It doesn't have to be a specific time frame. Because if you move on all time frames, it doesn't matter. It's not like you're looking for a closure above the range, like a 15 or something, right? Like something specific like that. You're looking for just the general movement of it. Small time frame when it comes to like entries. When I'm about to enter, like that's when I start looking at the small time frame, like for like small, like if I'm looking for a second pullback, right, then like that's when I'll drop down to the smaller time frame. But in general, like you want that movement to happen, so it doesn't matter about the time frame. Anywhere from like the 4-hour or daily down, to be honest, is fine. $49 taps once again. All right, so I think we're probably gonna start placing a session stop loss chat. So I think what I'll do is actually let's just wait until 11:15. I might just call it 11:15. Let's see how the last like this 15 closes here. If it's still in the range, we'll probably call it in this range right here. Because we need volume either way for a move, right? You got 1 minute leg candle, right? Yeah, 1 minute leg candle. Damn, I need to rewatch your leg candle vid. Yeah, because sometimes it might be confusing though, like in terms of like determining one. But just remember, like bearish candle, no bottom wick; bullish candle, no top wick. And yeah, like sometimes you might get confused with this. Like, oh, this is the leg candle. If that was bullish, yeah. The leg candle was in like, it was in the making for like 2 years. So it'll take some time for sure. I wonder what's next. I think right now it's like invisible candle we've been talking about, but every year where I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna come up with next. Something just naturally happens every year. Cause you just knows things over time. No matter, like you show up every day, you just eventually notice something new. It might not come overnight, right? But over time, you just start to notice a certain pattern, a certain candlestick, and you start sample sizing it. That's how it's always been. Last year wasn't anything new, I think. I think last year was more so just like going from like closing half at like 10 pips or 20 or whatever, closing half, right, to like managing trailing stops and profit instead. So that we took like it was more so management work last year, which gave us the most pips we ever did in a year. And this year as well is on pace to be the most too. So management so far pretty good. But some years is like management, some years is actually a play or a certain candle we're looking at. But I think the first thing that we ever noticed was, I think, the fake out. The fake out. After the fake out, and then after the fake out, it was range 1, range 2. Even like drive range liquidity, it's at the end of the day that like originates from the fake out idea. So the idea just evolves. Alright, what time is it? 15. Beep. Leo, you make a new account? I'm only saying that because that's your first message. At least what it says on YouTube. Chat is kind of moving now. 15 close, not bad. Like, how much is this push? 15 candle close, like 140 pips. That's not too bad, but for the buys, we're still far away anyways, right, from the ideas, because you still need a break above the zone and pull back and break again. Let's see. I think what I'll do, chat, is honestly, if this is a fake out, like the only thing I'll be here for maybe is just like if we get continuations below like 36 or something. So if we are just above, let's say break this, we'll probably call it a day. Channel subscription until 3rd April 2025. I think that's when I went on Twitch. That's it. So we have a session stop loss right here, chat. I think that'll be it for the session if we just break 5.8, like those highs right there. Not the worst day. I mean, we had like one idea early, not too close from it, or no, wasn't too close to it. But other than that, it was just the NFP push early, right? That one that came out 8, and that's about it. Just kind of chilled out from there. So that'll be, if we call it, that'll be one trade for the week. So just 0.60 for the week, and that was the first trade of the month too, right? This is the first week of the month. Not bad. 0.60. I think last week we did a 0.72. The week before 0.60. Week before 1. Week before 5. Like I don't think we had like a crazy week since maybe June, because July was just range, right? This was, oh shit. This right here was 138. Yeah, the last crazy week we had was maybe June, or a decent, like you know, above average week. I'll say is like, yeah, the second week of June. We did like 2.44%. So not bad. But remember, it's like the very first week after a range, right? So you don't gotta go too crazy right away. I'm sure like there'll be more directional to come, especially once you start breaking above this weekly range here. But this is like the very first breakout, right? Like look how much range, especially if you bump into these areas. So I wouldn't really stress. And then you range for the whole month of July too. So if you survive July, congrats. First week of the month here. Let's see, did it break 5.8 yet, chat? No, it's still being held. W's. Moved it, but not too much. That was okay. Could have been. I expected like maybe like something after NFP, which is a possibility still, but it's a Friday, so I don't want to be too late. Highs and lows. I know. We took a trade chat? No. Nope, sir. I think the dates where I had the most opportunities, I think it was yesterday, right? Yesterday? 3 or 4. What's your trade plan? Honestly, go back to the morning analysis. It might give you a better explanation of it. because we have the same idea still from the morning. Not much has changed. So if you roll back to like 8:10, 8:15, I think 8:15 to 8:30, that was my analysis, and that's usually when I plan my trades out for a day. So whatever I said during that time period is like what I'm looking for. Nothing has really been added since, so you might get a better idea of that. Yeah, nightmares about going tilt on NFT. Damn, that's a nightmare for real. That's a real nightmare. I don't get nightmares about going NFT, but like when we used to go on drawdown before, and I'll take those midday naps. Like you'll just dream about like, or I'll just dream about hidden TP, right? When I wake up, that's not the case though. Like when you wake up after draw, like if you have a dream about hitting TP, when you wake up, usually it's the opposite. It's a two-step process, right? You wake up. And then the first thing you check is your chart. On your MT5 and mobile, you check your chart. You check to see the trade arrow is still there. And then the second step is you go to the balance part. Now you check that, see the actual result of the trade. Two-step process. Because like when the trade's gone from your screen on a chart, it's like, okay, now you know it's gonna be a good thing or it's gonna be a bad thing. TP or stop loss, right? And you check your balance and you'll find out red or blue. Trade dream and drawdown, yeah, for sure. Damn, 11:30. Let's see. So the third minute kind of opens up. It's gonna close bullish, right? So opens up, breaks the high, we're gonna call it chat. I think this is a leg candle fill right here on this 30 as well. 4-hour flip as well. Is there a bank holiday next week? Or what's next week? Next week is Nfp today, so Saturday, none, Sunday, none, Monday, bank holiday in Japan. Interest rates for the Australian dollar on Tuesday, Wednesday, CPI, that's not bad. CPI on Wednesday. Thursday is core PPI, not bad. And Friday is retail sales. Not bad, not bad. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. So CPI is not bad. CPI, who knows? Could be better than NFP and FOMC. I'll put CPI up there. At least 8 here. What's up, Eddie? What session stops? Literally 5-8. We came really close. I thought it was gonna be GG's. What's up, Nimi? Long time no see. Bro, you have me in your display picture? That's dead as me. Five-eight, like literally survived. So it could be a plot twist, but came really close. Is it possible to go down more? It's a possibility. The same way it can go up. I don't know from here. I do know that I do have an idea below 36. But you gotta come down, tap 36, pull back again. This was a pullback, but it didn't tap 36. It rejected off of earlier, like 41. So I do want to see if it can come down towards 36, pull back. And maybe this time, like this is not a bad thing though, even though it pulled back earlier. The only thing is like it might just push through, it might not pull back. And we just missed the idea if it does. But if it does come down towards 36 and pull back again, all right, nothing too severe. Maybe just like a 43 and the re-break below 36 down towards 30 is what we're looking for. But again, I wouldn't know from here if you're gonna come down or not. I just have an idea below there in case it does go down. Because this could literally just be higher lows that are forming too, right? There's a lot of conflict, so you gotta find ways to confirm that it won't be. And for me, that's more so, that's why I'm waiting for a push down and then a pullback. In case this is a higher low, will be a higher low, we'll see anyways. But if it does come down, it makes a higher low, but re-breaks, why is that? Now this is just structure, 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 and that's my continuation. So it could be a late session trade. Chat, I think we got a trade last Friday too. Last Friday, we got a trade, I don't know what time. Let's see. 31st, we got 9:38. So a lot earlier last week. So yeah, we'll find out. I was close to session stop loss though. 30 minute opens up, or yeah, opened up just now. Close week bullish, like slightly above this range, but honestly at this point, I just put this in one entire range. I just categorize as one entire range. So yeah, 36, you want to see break. This is no bottom wicks too on like the 30 minute, you can say. So if it breaks that low at any given point, you can still react, right? That's gonna be the higher low. So waiting for that push towards 36 is very key, and then a pullback, very key. You don't want to miss on those steps. One hour flips too. We still got a lot of time to 30 minutes left. Word up, maybe. Dun, dun, dun. Do, 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 do. whatever 26, 22 gets me a month. Yo, 1 minute leg candle right here. You got sell in third lower high. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm gonna move my session stop loss down to this high here. So we're gonna trail the session stop loss. If you guys enjoy the stream, though, hit the like button. I know we didn't get any trades today, but Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. East every day. So if you don't get anything today, if you break that high, that session stop loss, we'll call it a week. Come back on Monday. And then next week, yeah, CPI. Not a bad week though. Pretty good volume to start. And I think if you could continue through August, that'd be nice. Like, I think for the last couple of months, it's been like moving decent on the start of the month. And then like second, third week, it ranges, and then last week it pushes again. So hopefully you just actually have consistent volume throughout, the entire month of August. All right, chat. I think that's it. Broke 5-3. I think that'll be it. I think if there's anything, I don't think so though, because it's Friday, so I probably won't be on for too long. But if there's anything, I'll call in deep as a 1. But I think that's it, chat. We give it, three and a half hours stream today. So yeah, I think that's it. Session stop loss hit. We hit those highs, so we're gonna call it a day. no trades today, and we'll be back on Monday. All right, chat. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. All right, chat. So yeah, no trades today. No trades today. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out. Laters.
Watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coke. Jet so big, feel like a boat, staying afloat. I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before. I know. Cleopatra at the pyramid tonight. Cinderella Benz, I got bucket seats inside. Roll a backwood with my enemies inside. Hey, okay. Yeah. WhatsApp attachment, first time I see you naked. I didn't say Karina, but you tasting faded. Say you coming home and give me that goodness gracious. Watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coke. On a jet, it feel like a boat, staying afloat. I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before. Grind on me. Love it when you pressing that behind on me. Holding everybody heat, cause they won't find it on me. Who said I can't dance with a 9 on 9 on 9 on 9 on 9 on me? Giddy up, giddy, how you rolling out, girl? Feel it in your system, codeine cow, girl. Who am I? You know it's Mr. Big Time Eating, Mr. Not Sleeping, he's late night creeping. Both his right wrists, all that's freezing. You know I'm a dog, I'm a hard pass demon. Says you wanna ride, I'm like, hey, okay. Shawty wanna ride at the first season. Shawty wanna ride at the first season. Shawty wanna ride at the first season. I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. Rainy days, his and hers, matching coke. Jet so big, feel like a boat, staying
Laters.
I'm watching the moves and playing it close. SOD, super soul. She was a hoe, but I ain't gon' judge, cause that was way before.